day for the last 3 days. Today is our final day of qualifying to set the fields. We will start with heavyweight. We will follow that with X58, then GTR Unlimited, GTR 68, the two GTR classes, then DCT, the dual clutch transmission class, Exhibition, which is not a qualifier, that is purely the cars that will not fit into another category. 2JZ versus the world, they will move back into their original spot for at least the first qualifier today, if not the first and the second qualifier. And then the final qualifier of the evening, we will move them back to the final position. Street car, that is our largest class, will come out next, and we will end off the first qualifying session for sure with stick shift. And as we get updates and we work our way throughout the day, we will give you more information on that as we work through. Folks, here's your first matchup, and it is a pretty cool bonus that we are doing here at TX2K, the first Corvette at an actual race in competition for a ZR1X. Now, they made a couple of single runs, as I mentioned earlier this week. We're now going to pair them up with somebody.
Yeah, so here's what's going on, y'all. We're basically doing a best 2 out of 3 race against a bone stock Demon with super lightweight seats, Demonology behind the wheel, and then Brooks at drag times in my ZR1X. I don't know, struggling to get that burnout done. See what happens.
So final call heavyweight, final call X58, and once again, GTR Unlimited. GTR Unlimited, need you to lanes 5 and 6, please. GTR Unlimited. GTR Unlimited, need you to lanes 5 and 6, please.
All right, who y'all got? Who's got the ZR1X? I think that Demon's gonna out 60-foot him, and he's gonna have to catch him on the big end. Let's see what happens.
So Herman Young, left-hand side. Demonology, driving the Demon, right-hand side. Brooks out of drag times. And the Demon gets the jump. Corvette's got to try to reel him in. Looks like he is already around him into the top end. 888 at 156 for the Corvette, folks. That is the first win there.
The DA's not as good as when we ran the 874, but as of right now, race number 1, best 2 out of 3, goes to the Corvette ZR1X. They'll come back around after heavyweight for round 2.
All right, folks, and here we go into heavyweight qualifier number 4. So we'll open with a Camaro versus Challenger pairing. Jill Hicks, left-hand side, the Michigan-based but Florida-residing 2017 model Z01 Camaro. Her best pass so far, 984, 155. It puts her in the number 13 spot. She's lined up with the top qualifier, John Sipple, out of Sipple's Performance in North Carolina. The Hell Kitty, trying to get into the 7s. He's got an 802 on the board currently, top end. He'll go 831 at 174 with the laundry out. It's a... $960 at 157 for Jill Hicks, and that's an improvement on her. Mark Brown, Griffin Moore come up next. Brown left-hand side, the Camaro. Griffin Moore right-hand side, also wheeling a 6th-gen Camaro. Brown is out of Texas left-hand side, the Super Sport Camaro. It's a 2017 model he calls the Sinister SS. He'll line up with Griffin Moore's 2019 model ZL1 that he calls Pocket Change on the Jag side. Quicker of the two is on the left-hand side, been 856. Right side has been 904. Trying to improve on what they ran previously. Left side will get out of the gas early, and Griffin Moore finds a 1/10 of a second. 891, 151. That'll move him up to the number 9 spot. As Mark Brown had a great 60-foot 120, but did not even make it to the 8th mile under power. He got out of it for some reason and coast to a 13:09 time slip. Our next pair, the Cadillac and the Camaro. Keaton Giacobbe left-hand side and William White on the right side. White trying to get that number 1 spot, and he does it, and does it huge. 758 at 186 miles an hour. Look at the crew celebrating. One spot and got it with authority. So William White goes to the number 1 spot with the 2018 Camaro based right here in Texas. And Keaton Giacobbe had problems coming out of the gate. Attention in the pits, attention pits. Drag racers, if you have not been through tech inspection, tech is open. Tech is open. Here comes your next pair, Steve Martin and Garrett Dobbs. Dobbs in the Scarlet Dodge Challenger left side. It's a 2018 model. He went 874, 156. Yesterday, that puts him in the number 7 spot. Steve Martin and Miss Kitty on the right-hand side, based right here in Texas as well. It's a 2016 model Hellcat, 896 at 152, puts him in the number 10 spot currently. So Dobbs has problems, gets backed off the starting line, so Martin will make a single shot here. Can he improve on an 896? He will not. He will run a 916 at 152. Lost a little bit on the 60 foot, but it is also much warmer today, so Martin will stay in the number 10 spot currently. Our next pair of cars, Victor Zozwala and Max Smith. Smith is driving the 2016 model Charger he calls Trump on the left-hand side, based right here in Texas. 917 is his best run. It puts him in the number 11 spot. Victor Zarzuela on the right side, the BMW out of Florida. Don't dismiss this one, even though it looks like it is a stalker and does not pose a big threat. That thing went 872 earlier, and he is qualified in the number 6 spot. Max Smith on his way down left side. Will he make a full pole? He will indeed. 842, 166 for Smith, and that will move him all the way up to the number 4 spot. Victor goes 878, 154. It's not an improvement on his 872, but it's a very consistent pass. That'll keep the BMW in the number 7 spot. Here comes another BMW. Jose Quintanilla. He's driving the 2020 X3M on the right-hand side. Has not made a pass yet. Carter Nguyen on the left-hand side, driving the Challenger. Jose has problems off the starting line. Carter on a decent shot right here. He'll go 857, 160, and that moves him right up into the thick of things. He will go into the number 7 spot. And the BMW on the right side, 12 flat with a 145. Jose goes into the number 17 spot. He will not qualify.
All right, guys, so listen up. Coming up here, the next pair up, we've got Demonology in the left lane running the bone stock Dodge Demon against Brooks Drag Times in the ZR1X. It's a best 2 out of 3 race. So far, Brooks is up 1-0. He won the first race. If he wins this one, it's 2-0 for the ZR1X. If Demonology and the stock Demon gets it, they're gonna do their last and final tiebreaker and have a third race. Both extremely quick cars. The Demon out 60 foots the ZR1X, which is on street tires. But the ZR1X has the mile an hour.
Attention in the bits, attention in the bits. GTR Unlimited, GTR Unlimited. Need you please, final call, GTR Unlimited, GTR Unlimited. I need you, I also need GTR 68. GTR 68, I need you as well. Christopher Torres out of Oregon in the Jeep Trackhawk, making a good run. He goes 828, 172, improving on his 843, and that moves him all the way up to the number 4 spot. And that will cap off round number 1 of heavyweight. Here we go into the second match race for the Corvette ZR1X and the Dodge Demon.
So if the ZR1X wins this second race, the Demon definitely gets a prize for the better burnout. I see Brooks lining up a little bit out of the groove to try to get the sticky stuff, but I don't think he needs to, not at TX2K. All right, there he is. So once again, this is a best 2 out of 3. ZR1 took the win in the first race, and this is race number 2. Bone stock, both lanes, ZR1 on street tires, Michelin's. Huh. Let's back him up, back him up. All right, Herman, you would have lost that race in the real world, buddy. That would have been an L. But because we love you, we're going to back y'all up and restart the tree. Oh, Brooks, double bobbing. Double bobbing our guy, Herman. All right, you have 7 seconds to light the second bulb. For God's sakes, y'all know how to drag race. You do it every damn weekend in Florida. Come on, boys.
All right, both of them are staged. Here comes the tree. Big wheel stand out of the Demon. Corvette's gonna have to work hard to get back around him. Can he do it? Just barely 9:03, beating a competitive 9:16 on that matchup.
Oh, girl got some heat in her. Dropped about 4 or 5 miles an hour. The one thing I will say is those ZR1s heat soak. I've been talking to several shops, and a lot of them are working on a solution. Head-to-head, 2 wins in a row for the ZR1X. Sends the Demon packing. What a great race, though. What a great race.
All right, racers, listen up, please. Racers, listen up, please. When we call classes, please, please make sure you report when we call your classes. We have slots for each class. If you do not report when we call your class, you may miss that session. We do not want anybody to miss your session, so please pay attention when we call you. Nine and 10. All right, folks, so doing a little bit of touch-up on the racetrack right now. Getting ready for the popular X58 category. This is the combination of the S58 and the B58 platform that is used in both the Mark V Supra as well as several BMWs. And already got a pretty sporty field. Right now, the bump spot is an 853. There are 5 drivers that have qualified in the 7s with Tom Wrigley, the 2022 M3. Qualified on top at 767 at 183. He is leading that field. So there are quite a few people that you would expect to be playing in the X58 class that are not in the top 16 yet. So today is going to set what should be a very competitive field. We only take 16. And again, drivers, listen up, please. Drivers in all classes, listen up, please. Drivers in all classes, listen up, please. If for some reason you are broken and you cannot fix your vehicle, please make sure you come to the second floor of the tower, room 208, and let us know so we can change the qualifying sessions to put alternates into place or move the bump spot up. We would love to be able to have full fields and be able to send pairs down. All right, folks, here we go into the X58 category. As I mentioned, our current bump spot in this class is spicy. Drivers have got to be able to get inside of an 853.0 to try to qualify. And keep in mind, even if you manage to get inside of that, may not be enough to hang on to it because we may have somebody that comes up right behind you and run quicker. Once again, DCT, I need you. DCT, I need you lanes 9 and 10, please, DCT. DCT, lanes 9 and 10. I also need GTR 68. GTR 68, need you to lanes 1 and 2. GTR Unlimited, your final call, needs you to lanes 5 and 6. GTR Unlimited, lanes 5 and 6. Final call for X58, final call. X58 needs you as well, lanes 3 and 4. Andrew Ferguson, Anthony Mall first. Ferguson currently sitting in the number 15 spot with an 851.6. He'd love to get that BMW out of Ohio off the bottom of the ladder and up to the middle so he does not get bumped out. He's lined up with Anthony Mall. He's in the number 12 spot. The Titan Motorsports and Race Parts Direct Supra. He's on the right side. Left side rolls the beam so he will not get an ET. Anthony looking to better an 834. And he will go 807 at 175, picking up a good amount. He is over a quarter second quicker, and that'll move him all the way up to the number 6 spot in the field. Great pass right there from All on the right-hand side of the racetrack. That'll move him up to the top half of the field. Left side unfortunately rolled the beams, and Andrew now has to hang on and see if that number 15 spot will stay secured. It's an all Fisher starting line next, a pair of BMWs. We have M-Life on both sides of the racetrack. Rowan Fisher left side, Ricord Fisher right side. Ricord out of Valley Stream, New York. He's driving the 2022 M3, the one you see right there on your screen if you're watching on FloRacing. On the opposite side, Rowan out of Queens Village, New York. He's driving the 2023 model. You can see it coming into view there on the left side of your screen on the FloRacing feed. Right now, both of them are currently with a good run. Right-hand side, Ricord's gone 797, so he is solidly in the field. Rowan's trying to get back into the field, 799. Will keep Ricord in the spot that he's currently in. That's the number 5 spot. 863 is an improvement for Rowan Fisher, but not enough to get him into the field at 162 miles an hour. It will put him just outside the field in, I believe, the number 17 spot. Give me 1 second, I'll take a look. Actually, he is in the number 18 spot, so he is about a 1/10 of a second off entering the field. Here comes your next pair, Joe Stitzy and Noel Mitchell. Stitzy is on the left-hand side, the New Jersey-based BMW M340. And it looks like we are currently on hold as they are doing some mop work on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Waiting to see if this will be a single. It looks like they will send a single. So Joe will actually make a single shot here. He is not currently in the field, qualified with an 11-second pass, and that has him several spots down. He is actually car number 29. He is all the way at the bottom of the sheet. He has to find about 2 3/4 seconds to have a chance to get into this field. And this is the best conditions today, so his best shot to do so. $159 to the 60-foot. That'll cost him some valuable ET. Making a good move out the back to go 890 at 159, but that is going to leave him short. It'll move him up to the number, I believe, 21 spot, but it will not help him to get into the top 16. So the top 16 stays intact. The 8th 53 bump spot stays intact.
At Motor State Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the brands builders trust. For more than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country, all of it moving forward and fueling passion.
We drive tech. We drive the industry, going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see fuel tech everywhere.
When you use Hot Shot Secret oil and fuel additives, you get decades worth of cutting-edge innovation. Innovation that saves you money and maximizes efficiency and performance. Hot Shot Secret started with a mission to solve one engine problem. Today, we have solutions for all kinds of common issues that impact your bottom line. From our world-class lab to your cars, trucks, and equipment, Hot Shot Secret is powered by science.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me. Proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
At Motor State Distributing, the standard is simple. The right parts from the... More than 60 years, our team has helped keep the industry moving. Working alongside brands like Holley, from garages to racetracks across the country, all of it moving forward and fueling passion.
Soto and Noel Mitchell up next here. Mitchell's on the right-hand side. He is currently qualified with an 8:43. He's in the number 14 spot, about a 1/10 of a second quicker than the bump. On the left side, Eliezer Soto, the Illinois-based BMW M3, currently qualified at 9:40, so needs almost 9/10 of a second to be able to make it into the field. Mitchell on a good run, and Mitchell rockets up the sheet. 9:807 at 178. He will push Anthony Mall back by just 0.04 of a second, and he will take over the number 6 spot. 9:38, 146 for Soto is an improvement, but it will not get him anywhere near the bump spot. He will stay in the number 25 spot for the moment, Stacy Barnett. And Nick Fauchiates come up next. The Nick Built 2021 Supra, that's the black car on the Jake side. 827 has him in the number 12 spot. Stacy Barnett has gone 820 in the white car that has him in the number 10 spot. Again, the reaction time will not affect your ET. Left side, 785 as Stacy improves by a bunch, and an 818, 172 for Nick. He improves by a 1/10 of a second, so both cars will move up. Stacy Barnett becomes our 6th car in the 7s, and he goes to the number 5 spot. Nick moves up to number 10, and Matt Meadows still hanging on to that 853 bump spot. But a lot of shuffling going on in the top 16. So far, nobody has been able to break their way in that has been outside. So Giselle Torres and Matt Galano. Galliano, right-hand side out of Ohio, driving the 2024 BMW M240. He currently has an 820 to his credit. That puts him on the qualifying sheet currently in the number 11 spot. Giselle Torres on the opposite side in one of two cars out of the Prianto camp. It went 776, 166. She was the number 1 qualifier for a little bit. She now sits number 3. Wants to try to get that top spot back and is on a good run to start so far. 127 to the 60 foot. Can Giselle get it back? Nope, she will slow just a little bit. 783. But on the opposite side, 779 at 184. And now Matt joins the 7-second fray as 7 cars have now jumped into the 7s. And Matt will move into the number 4 spot right behind Giselle in the number 3 spot. Once again, the top 16 shuffling hard. And now Noel Mitchell in the number 8 spot with an 807. So to qualify in the top half of the field, need to run quicker than 807. Here comes your number 1 qualifier left side, Tom Wrigley. The right drive BMW M3, 767 at 183 coming into this session. He will line up against Mike Kanovic. Mike is your number 2 qualifier in the green Mark V Supra. He's based out of Illinois. 774 is his best number. So these are your top 2 qualifiers right here on the starting line. 0.07 of a second separate them. Can either one of them improve here in this session? We will find out shortly. Both of them on full pulse so far. The Mark V Supra will arrive for 749 at 194 miles an hour. And Mike says, excuse me, Tom, I think you need to go to the second chair. Mike Kanovic punches his way through to the number 1 spot with authority, picking up a 1/4 of a second. 749 at 194 moves him up to number 1 and pushes Tom Wrigley back to number 2, and Wrigley did not improve. He went 818, so he will not improve on his previous 767 and now sits number 2. Watch it one more time on the Flow replay. The left side of your screen, the green and black Mark V Supra just absolutely obliterating that right-hand lane to take the number 1 spot by over 0.2 of a second. An insane run that started with a 122.60 foot and just rolled to the number 1 spot. Here comes your next pair. Jose Marcano right side out of North Carolina. Adriana Noonan left side, the second Prianto ride called Adonis. Adriana with the better 60 foot and the better incrementals so far. She will click off an 801, picking up 0.1 of a second. At 179 miles an hour, moves her to the number 8 spot. 824, 174 for Marcano. That'll move Marcano up to the number 12 spot. Now the bump spot is still not changed, but like I said, there's a lot of shuffling. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Final call for GTR 68. Final call, GTR 68. I need you now, please. Final call, GTR 68. I also need DCT lanes 9 and 10, please. DCT lanes 9 and 10. Matt Meadows, the man on the bump. He goes 849, 170, improving by 0.04 of a second. And Matt Meadows will move off the bump spot into number 15, switching places with Andrew Ferguson. Fergie will go to number 16 with an 851. So now an 851 is the bump. Left side. Stephen Kahn not improving on his 892 as he slows to a 13-second pass. And that will not help his causes as he will go into possibly the last or next to last session, still not qualified. William Lee, Justin Lazarus. William Lee is qualified left side. That is the red and black Mark V Supra. The Washington-based hot rod is qualified at 842. He is in the number 14 spot currently. Now, Justin Lazarus on the right-hand side out of Massachusetts should be driving a Supra, but I believe this is his backup car, the BMW on the right-hand side. It has gone a best of 986, and that is nowhere close to getting him in. He is in the number 27 spot, and we take the top 16. So unless he can somehow find a full second and a half, he will be on the outside looking in. William Lee trying to improve and will improve. He picks up 0.2 of a second, 822, 171 miles an hour for William Lee. Moves him up into the number 12 spot. Justin got real close to the center line and had to back away from it, but still manages to improve greatly. 901, 149. He finds over 0.8 of a second performance in the BMW, but it is not good enough to get him into the field. It'll only move him up to the number 24 spot. So he is still 8 spots shy of being able to play on Sunday eliminations. We'll look at that one more time on the Flow replay. Watch the white BMW. You'll see him right here. Get real close to the center and have to drive away from it. Michael Body and Bernard Milinovic. Body, 866, 149, doesn't improve on the 788. But left side, Bernard answers with a big call, 799, 180. He was out of the field in the number 18 spot, just pushed himself right back into it. Now 8 cars in the 7s, and that means that the bump spot will once again be Matt Meadows. He improved, but now he is the bump spot once again with an 849. Once again, our final call, GTR 68. Final call, GTR 68. Need you to lanes 1 and 2, please. Final call, GTR 68. Final call, GTR 68, I need you. And this should be our final pair of X58 this session. Your ball, Alzanoff. On the right-hand side out of California, the BMW M2. 892 has been his best pass. He is not currently in the field. He's in the number 22 spot. Tabitha Shirk, left-hand side, is in the field, but precariously close to the bump. 827 has her in the number 15 spot. Tree is green. Both cars get him up on boost. Tabitha leaves first. Now your boy leaves second. The GSC ride left-hand side, and the BMW is going to rocket around her. 787 at 177 miles an hour, and your ball will go into the field and join the 7-second frame. Now 9 cars in the 7-second zone, and he is now qualified in the number 7 spot. And Tabitha, who just went down left lane to a 977, is now on the bump. Matt Meadows, who came in the number 16 spot, went up to number 15 and is now out of the field in number 17 spot with his BMW. And it looks like we have one more car actually that has just joined. As you see the standings on the Flow feed. Amazing. 9 cars now, folks, in the 7s with Mike Kanovic leading the way with a 749 in this session. So our final car here, Ismael Navarez, 985 at 154 for the BMW. So he is not currently in the field. He is in the number 27 spot. So trying to punch his way into the field. This will be our last car for this session. Whoa, and a whole lot of room, and he gets it around once, twice, 3 times, and we'll keep it off the wall, folks. Put your hands together as Ismail keeps it intact.
I was going to say great driving, but I think he was along for the ride, although I did see him try to counter steer when the back end started sliding. Good job, man. Good save. You saved yourself, you saved your car, and you saved us about 30 minutes. Well done, brother.
Wow, that was insane. I'm assuming it was right on the gear shift because he was dead middle of the racetrack, and just past the 60-foot mark, the car kicked hard. Let's look at it one more time on the Flow replay. You'll see right here, the car just kicks the rear end out, and then it'll come around as he is trying to keep it off both walls. And we got to see both sides of that car, but he managed to not touch a barrier, and he will go back to the pits and breathe a big old sigh of relief. So Ismail making a slow drive, probably trying to collect his thoughts going down the racetrack. Final call for DCT, final call DCT. I'll take you to lanes 9 and 10, please. Here's the run order after 4 rounds of qualifying in X58. Like I said, folks, it was a spicy field when we came in here with an 8:53 bump, and it has gotten significantly quicker. Considering Mike Kanovic is now your #1 qualifier at 8:49, and that run came this session. We came into this session with 5 cars in the 7s. We now have 9 with Bernard Movinovic, who was outside the field with an 8:72, punched his way in as the final 7-second car. You see Tabitha Shirk, who was in the number 15 spot with an 8:27, now on the bump spot. Matt Meadows was the bump. He improved from an 8:53 to an 8:49, and now the purple BMW on the outside looking in number 17. Now, 31 cars have made a shot at an 8:27 bump spot. And as you can see, there is not a lot of room. You've got to make a big jump to be able to get into that field as a couple of 8.0s. And then it's basically a lot of mid to upper 8-second cars, a lot of 9-second cars. But again, they are going to have to find a lot of performance to be able to join this very tough field. So we're doing a little bit of track prep here as the SICK Prep team jumps out onto the surface to get ready for GTR Unlimited, followed by GTR 68. Those will be the next 2 classes coming. So GTR 68, your final call has gone out. GTR 68, your final call has gone out. Final call for DCT. Final call, DCT. We need you to lanes 9 and 10, please. Final call, DCT. Final call, DCT. Need you as well. Lanes 9 and 10, please. All right, folks, looks like we are just about ready to put cars back in the water here. We're going into our third class, GTR Unlimited. The GTR Unlimited class will be coming up next. There's water going down in the water box, the first of our two GTR classes, GTR Unlimited. As the name suggests, no rules other than the fact that it is a GTR-based construction on the body. You see the qualified order on the FloRacing feed. Mac Brosnan in Kimbo, currently leading the way with the only 6-second pass, a 685. John Shepard in the number 2 spot has run back-to-back 7 flat runs, a 7 flat with a 9 and a 7 flat with a 7. Juan Fernandez in 3rd, Stacy Barnett 4th, Jeremy Cummins rounds out the top 5, and Mac Brosnan will be our first car out here, lining up with Javier Maldonado. Our first burnouts of GTR Unlimited complete. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Listen up, please, racers. Attention in the pits. Attention in the pits, racers. Listen up, please. I need exhibition. Exhibition, I need you to lanes 1 and 2, please. Exhibition. Exhibition, need you to lanes 1 and 2. Pits, listen up, please. Racers, listen up, please. 2 JZ versus the world. 2 JZ versus the world, lanes 3 and 4. 2 JZ versus the world, lanes 3 and 4. Exhibition, lanes 1 and 2. So Javier Maldonado, who has not made a representative run yet on the left-hand side, the Colorado-based GTR, has only run in the 10s on an early shutoff run so far. He'll line up with your number 1 qualifier, Mac Brosnan, on the right-hand side. A couple years ago, this car was converted from using the original style transmission to a 4-link and a turbo 400 that puts him into the DCT Unlimited category, as it is now a rear drive only setup. 685 at 219 for Mac. As he bumps in, tree fires. Javier makes the move first. Mac kind of rattles the tires a little bit. Gets close to the center line, hangs on to it. 674 at 225. Mac Brosnan improving by over 1/10 of a second in the heat, folks. He ran that 685 in the cool air in the first session, so picks up a bunch. With a 114.60 foot, Mac Brosnan lays down a solid number. Javier goes 843, 132 to get him into the number 6 spot.
You could see he shook the tires, got out of it, and he had to get back in it. Still went at 670 at 225. Very impressive.
Obviously, that car still has a lot left on the table. Could see some 660s out of him if he keeps it arrow straight.
And this is a George Dodworth. This is a slick car. For those of you that don't know, the way that we prep the track here, it's really more of a radial event. So slick cars have a much harder time getting down the track because the type of prep this car needs is very different than what we typically do. So they just kind of mess with the settings just to kind of get it down the track, and it's really getting it off the line. That's the biggest struggle for a slick car, because a slick likes to spin, grab, spin, grab, spin, grab. A radial, it either hooks or it spins. And so these tires, these big slicks, have a much harder time getting down a track that has this sort of prep. George was gracious enough to bring the car out just to put on a show for the fans and the crowd, and to show you what a fully built GTR drag car built by T1 Race Development looks like, runs like, and sounds like.
George Stodworth in and staged. Looks good so far, 111 to the 60-foot Dodworth. And he will go 643 at 211 to take the #1 spot.
Okay, y'all don't know how impressive it is for a slick car to get down a radial track and run a 40. That is awesome. Great job, T1 Race Development and the T1 team. That is sick. Well done, George. Let's go.
As you watch the replay on FloRacing, you see a little bit of a bobble about the 330, but George powered right through it to take the #1 spot by over 0.3 of a second. 643 at 211 with a 1:11 60-foot time. Dodworth laying down the number to take the #1 spot away from Brosnan, and now 2 cars in the 6s. So GTR Unlimited will be spicy as they come back around for the next round. We'll see if they can trade the #1 spots one more time, as we'll make the move to GTR 68 right here. Oscar Morales as we fire off our first pair here in GTR 68, the 68mm compressor limited category. 754-193 left side for Oscar Morales. That'll punch him up into the #6 spot. Right side 822-179 for Gary Lee, and that puts Gary Lee in the #10 spot. So both cars improving on what they ran previously right out of the gate. Still in warm conditions, but probably the best air we will have today, and both drivers take full advantage of it. Once again, I need my exhibition class. Exhibition class, I need you to lanes 1 and 2, please. Exhibition class. Exhibition class, I need you to lanes 1 and 2, please. 2JZ versus the world. 2JZ versus the world. Need you to lanes 3 and 4. Attention in the staging lanes. All drivers in DCT, back to your vehicles immediately. All drivers in DCT, if you are in the staging lanes, I need you back to your cars immediately. We are missing several of you in the lanes. I need you now. All DCT drivers, if you are not with your vehicles, I need you with them now, please. Khalid Al-Rifai on the right-hand side out of Texas, driving the Maverick. The Nissan GTR, very familiar hot rod that you've seen out here several times. He's lined up with Jason Patton. Right-hand side gets close to the center, but a 688 at 217. And that will put Khalid up to the #1 qualifying spot. You see his crew celebrating on the starting line, giving out hugs and high fives, and that car goes all the way to the #1 qualifying spot on the opposite side. 772 at 188 for Patton. nearly cutting his previous 15-second time in half, and he will go to the number 9 spot. One more time on the Flow replay. Watch the left side of your screen. This car with a lot of racing history got real close to the center, but he just hung on to it, didn't panic, didn't lift, and stayed on the good side of the center stripe, and that run will count. A 688, that will push David Rarschneider, the only car to run in the 6s thus far up till now, into the number 2 spot. Now our next pair. Talon Remington on the right-hand side. That's the red GTR. He's out of Wyoming, qualified at an 852, 168 miles an hour. That's good for the number 13 spot. He will line up next to Antonio Di Leonardi. He is out of Maryland in the 2010 model GTR on the left side. A 711 at 208 miles an hour. For Antonio, has him in the number 3 spot. He has already seen a 6-second pass laid down right in front of him. Knows that the chance is there, knows that the track is there. Can the maroon car on the left-hand side become our 3rd car into the 6-second zone? Both of them staged and ready, tree fires. Left side makes a good move, 119 to the 60-foot. Antonio trying to hang on to it. This looks solid. 705 at 206. He improves by 0.06 of a second and will stay in the number 3 spot. Right side 830 at 171 as Talon picks up 0.2 of a second, and he will stay in the number 13 spot. So you need to run quicker than 822 to move up to number 12. And once again, my exhibition class, I need you now, lanes 1 and 2, please. Exhibition class, need you to lanes 1 and 2. 2JZ versus the world, 2JZ versus the world. I need you to lanes 3 and 4. 2JZ versus the world, 2JZ versus the world. I need you to lanes 3 and 4 at this time, please.
We got a couple of T1 race-built cars coming up. I believe it's Clay Kerr in the left lane, and one of our favorite TX2K racers, Christine Dodworth in the right lane. She's been 6s before at TX2K. Let's see what kind of tune-up they have in the car.
Christine Dodworth and Clayton Kerr are on their way. A good side-by-side matchup until right side lifts early, 736. 201 miles an hour for Clayton, picking up almost a full second. That will move him to the number 6 spot. Christine, an 830 at only 123, a 481 to half track. Might have improved if she continued to leg it out, but left it after the 8th mile and will not improve on the 773 from previous. Wes Hawkins, your final car in GTR 68. The Arizona-based GTR, it's a 2010 model. He is qualified with a 757 in the number 9 spot. With 15 cars currently on the sheet, that would put him at the top of the bottom side. In order to get lane choice, you would need to be on the top side of the field, which means you'd want to qualify in positions number 1 through 8 if possible. So Wes Hawkins, rolling up on the right-hand side, no doubt knows that there have been some solid runs laid down in front of him. Wes' car kind of double steps coming out of the gate. He's going to stay with it. 760 at 198 miles an hour after a 152 to the 60-foot. Still manages to put together that run. It will not improve him. He'll stay number 9. Which shows a lot of promise. If that car would have been just a little better on the 60-foot, he would have moved into the top side of the field. But that'll keep him number 9, and it'll wrap up GTR 68 For qualifier number 4. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. I need exhibition lanes 1 and 2, please. Exhibition lanes 1 and 2, please. I need 2JZ versus the world. 2JZ versus the world lanes 3 and 4, please. I need you now. As you see the GTR 68 standings on the flow stream, again, another class. We're coming in. We already had some very impressive performances, and everybody has just stepped up their game huge. A lot of drivers, I think, are just getting the idea that, okay, we're going to continue to get warmer into Saturday and Sunday. If we need to make a move, the morning session is the time to do it because it is going to continue to get warmer here. And that means your chances of being able to not only put the power down because the track is going to start to get warm, but also as the temperature increases, the power levels are going to not be as good as they will this morning in the cool air. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Drivers, listen up, please. Attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Drivers, listen up, please. We have put out calls for exhibition lanes 1 and 2. I am still missing several of you. We do not want you to miss this session, so we need you now. Once again, if you cannot hear the PA system, 88.7 is the FM frequency. Exhibition lanes 1 and 2. Exhibition lanes 1 and 2. 2JZ versus the world. 2JZ versus the world. Need you to lanes 3 and 4, please. Attention in the pits. We are going to add our third class call here. I need streetcar, and streetcar, listen up, please. Streetcar, listen up, please. I need 749 and quicker only. 749 and quicker only to lanes 7 and 8 at this time. 750 and slower, please stay in the pits until we have room for you. Again, I need streetcar, 749 and quicker only. Streetcar, 749 and quicker only. Need you to lanes 7 and 8, please. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Exhibition and 2JZ versus the world. Exhibition and 2JZ versus the world. This is your final call to the staging lanes, please, for this session. Exhibition, lanes 1 and 2. Exhibition, lanes 1 and 2. Your final call. 2JZ versus the world. 2JZ versus the world. Your final call. Lanes 3 and 4 have called Streetcar. And Streetcar, listen up, please. 749 and quicker only. 749 and quicker only for Streetcar. Each of the lanes 7 and 8. And it looks like we may have another matchup between the Corvette ZR1X coming up. The ZR1X dispatched the Demon on 2 straight hits. Peter, it looks like we have another willing participant coming up here to battle out with the Corvette ZR1X here at Texas 2K.
So I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous because the ZR1X has already done a couple passes. It did beat the Demon twice in a row first thing this morning. So the ZR1X walked by the Demon on the big end, but on the second pass it lost like 5 miles an hour because it heat soaks. So all the aftermarket shops are actually working on a solution to keep the car from heat soaking as much as it does. So I'm a little bit nervous because that Plaid loves the heat. I don't know if the ZR1X in these conditions can beat that Plaid. Who thinks the Plaid can take out the ZR1X? Let me hear you. Who thinks the ZR1X can take the Plaid out? All right, Brooks, don't let the crowd down, buddy.
So as soon as the SIG Prep crew gets everything touched up on the racetrack, as DCT is under the tower right now, the dual clutch transmission class, it is our second largest class in the drag race section. That class right now is a barn burner, as the top of 3 16-car qualified fields is currently packed full of 7-second cars. As a matter of fact, we are only 2 cars away from having an all 7-second field in the top 16. So as soon as the SIG Prep crew is done with their racetrack work, then we will bring up the first matchup race, followed by DCT.
All right, I'm nervous because I don't know, man. That Plaid is dead consistent. Loves the heat. ZR1X does not love the heat. Let's see.
Peter, I'm going to jump in here real quick. Streetcar, 750 and slower. Streetcar, 750 and slower. I'll take you to lanes 5 and 6, please. Streetcar, 750 and slower. We'll take you to lanes 5 and 6, please.
And just so y'all know, Brooks is driving the ZR1X. He's got the YouTube channel Drag Times. And Parker is driving the Plaid. He is Vehicle Virgins. He's got the YouTube channel Vehicle Virgins. They both are huge car guys in the car community, love all sorts of cars. And they were both generous enough to come here. They're going to collab with TX2K on the YouTube video and our social media. And I guess we'll settle a score once and for all. Should we all sell our gas-powered cars and go buy an electric vehicle at a daily? Or do we all daily ZR1Xs? That's the question. Once again, the ZR1X ran an 8.74 at 159 on Tuesday in negative 200 density altitude, much better conditions, but was only able to muster an 8.8 and a 9.0 back-to-back today because of the heat. So the density altitude is definitely not as good. Not as good as it was on Tuesday. So this should be interesting. And once this is done, if y'all have never seen a $5 million Koenigsegg Jesko attack, it just arrived on the property. It's at the Jotech tent, which is like directly behind the TX2K apparel store. If you want to see what a $5 million car looks like, go check it out. It is incredible. Matte black, all carbon, one of the most beautiful vehicles I've ever seen in my life. Go to Jotech Motorsports rig, parking, and booth area to check it out.
All right, folks, while we get this pairing put together, the Corvette getting the tires heated up. Now the Plaid, most likely, because of the way the launches are set up on these, will, just like the Demon, could possibly jump out to an early lead, and then the Corvette have the chance to reel them in. So the Corvette already with 2 wins, with a 2-0 decision over the Demon. Can Brooks keep the win lights coming on? Or will the Tesla dispatch him on this first of 3? Corvette actually gets the jump out of the gate and will extend the lead to go 889, 155.
I mean,
they get that first win.
Does the Plaid even have the battery charged? You did not represent the Tesla Brotherhood very well, Mr. Left Lane. Got spanked. That ZR1X still going 8s in the heat. 1,800 foot density altitude, not bad. 1,800 feet DA still goes an 8.
All right, folks, so our first pair out here in DCT, Patrick Chu and Pascal Legault will be first up. The Ontario, Canada-based hot rod on the left-hand side. Pascal's currently qualified the number 8 spot with a 761. Right side, 831 is in the second field for Patrick Chu. Off they go. Left side out in front on a good run here. We'll go 739 at 196 miles an hour. You see the crew celebrating as that will pick him up over 0.2 of a second. Right side gets out of the throttle and goes 10-10 at only 90 miles an hour. Once again, my streetcar class, 749 and quicker. Need you to lanes 7 and 8, please. Streetcar, 749 and quicker. I need you to lanes 7 and 8, please. I need streetcar 750 and slower to lanes 5 and 6, please. Streetcar 750 and slower. I need you to lanes 5 and 6, please. How about this, folks? Husband versus wife. This could be for where you get to sleep tonight. So Kenny Tran left side and Luna Tran right-hand side. The Joe Tech prepped Lamborghini and Nissan GTR. Tell you what, considering that this might be a lose the battle, win the war type scenario, if you're in Kenny Tran's shoes, he has already run quicker by almost 0.3 of a second over what Luna has laid down. In the GTR, she calls the lunatic on the right side. 8:43 has been her best run. The Lambo's gone a best of 8:16. They leave the starting line together. Kenny is extending his lead and extending it by even more. 8:02, 184 for Kenny Tran. That'll move him all the way up to the number 18 spot. Luna also improves, goes 8:41, 176. It'll keep her in the second field. A good matchup right there. But Kenny led that one wire to wire. He had the better reaction time and had the better ET and speed. Amir Fathi and Luke Carlisle come up next. Carlisle already a winner here out of the roll race section. He'd like to add the drag race side to things. It is white R8 out of Albuquerque. Currently qualified at 7:33. He'll go 7:32 at 2:04. He picks up 4 miles an hour in the hot rod on the right side. Amir will go 9:05 at 1:57. That improves over his 9:33 that he ran previously. We'll see where that brings him to as far as the fields go. But a 9:05 puts him in the number 43 spot. So he is currently qualified in the third field. We will take 3 fields of 16 each. So you need to qualify in the top 48. The bump spot coming into this session, folks, was a 12:56, and no doubt that is gonna move. Omar Sanchez and Mitch Michaels next. Both of them are solidly in the fields. 9:63 for Omar Sanchez, has him in the number 46 spot. Mitch Michaels at a 7:66 has him in the number 10 spot. He's in the top field of 16 cars right now. Both of them off and running. Right side, Michaels on another good shot. He'll improve by a 1/10 of a second, 7:54, 191 miles an hour, and Omar also improves by a 1/2 a second, 9:13 at 1:59. So Omar Sanchez will move up the ladder a little bit, and Mitch Michaels makes it into the top half of the field, into the number 7 spot. Once again, my streetcar classes, need you to the lane. Streetcar 749 and quicker, lanes 7 and 8. Streetcar 749 and quicker, lanes 7 and 8, please. I need streetcar 750 and slower, lanes 5 and 6. Streetcar 750 and slower, lanes 5 and 6, please. Ayla Galiva comes up next, left side. The Texas-based Russian assassin, the GTR at 719, puts her into the number 1 spot currently. Ali Kazmi comes up out of Arkansas right side, the JJ GTR. 975 has Kazmi in the number 3 field, but just barely at the moment. So the number 1 qualifier, left-hand side, 719 and 192. Galiva improved. Ayla's on a heck of a run so far, left side scoreboard. 708 at 200 miles an hour. And look at the crew celebrate as she picks up over a 1/10 of a second. Now even quicker for the top spot on the field, and Kazmi does not improve a little bit. 969, 140.
And Derek, Ayla, I believe that is her quickest pass ever. I think she ran in 7.1. And this is her husband in the Audi in the left lane coming up, Brandon Johnson.
That is a heck of a run for 7:08 at 200 miles an hour in this heat. To be able to go that quick, just impressive as heck. So Brandon Johnson and Brandon Gauthier come up next. It's an all Brandon starting line. So Brandon Johnson left side, the Texas-based Audi R8. Brandon Gauthier right side, the GTR, also based out of Texas. Left side has some problems. Gauthier wheeling and dealing it in his lane, and he will wisely lift out of the throttle there. Got all kinds of sideways, and Johnson's car was spitting and sputtering and bucking like a bucking Bronco, and he did not get the run he wanted either. So one of our spotters on the wall will hop over and take a quick peek at it. Make sure he is not losing any fluid or have parts hanging off. We're taking a look underneath the car right now to make sure. Again, the driver doing exactly what we would want. Pull over to the side and stop. That way, if there are any parts or fluid coming out of the car, it allows us to be able to get to it. Not only that, but it is contained to a much smaller area, and the cleanup work would take less time. So we're going to take one more look at the right side. Watch Gauthier have to wheel and deal this car. Right here makes a big move to the left. He tries to correct it, and it does it a second time, just absolutely digging the rear end in right there. And at that point, he knows he's lost valuable ET, so decides, let's save the parts and pieces, and let's take our foot out of the throttle. And he coasts down the racetrack to go at 10:39. So it looks like left-hand side, one of the Texas Motorplex staff has shown up, and they are going to assist in getting that car off the left-hand side. So again, should only take a few minutes while we get that vehicle off the racetrack. Once again, the International Association of Track Professionals of America showing up huge here as we've got the best of the best here at Texas Motorplex. By the way, folks, the International Association of Track Professionals of America is accepting nominations. If you would like to join the club, we do have union reps on site. Please make sure you see your Texas 2K official.
And by the way, hey guys, it's Peter at the head of the track. Does anyone here, as a spectator, have a Tesla Plaid here at the track? I need one. That other Plaid, there's no way it's running right, only going 141 miles an hour. So if you have a stock Tesla Plaid, well, I guess they're all stock. If you have a Tesla Plaid, come find me. We'll put your car on the track. We'll make you famous. Feature you on Drag Times, Vehicle Virgins, and TX2K. Please come find me if you have a Plaid. The best way to do it is to go to the tower back here to Suite 208 and let Derek, our announcer, oh, you got one? Yeah, boy. Okay, so Brooks, where's Brooks? Hey, we got a Tesla Plaid here, but his battery's right at about 50%, so that's like 930s. Do we have a charger we can plug it in? All right, so we found one Plaid.
Once again, I need my streetcar classes. Streetcar classes 749 and quicker lanes 7 and 8. 749 and quicker lanes 7 and 8. I also need 750 and slower streetcars to lanes 5 and 6. 750 and slower streetcars, lanes 5 and 6, please. Final call for 2JZ versus the world. Final call. 2JZ versus the world. I need you. Lanes 3 and 4, please. Once again, thanks to the quick work of the IATPA, we are back underway.
All right, so we found a Tesla Plaid. The guy's gonna go supercharge it. I don't know what that means because I don't own an electric car, just a hybrid. He's gonna supercharge it and then come back. We wanna make sure we represent Tesla and that car the best possible way. And look, guys, I know there's something not right when a Plaid's only going 141 miles an hour. So probably in about an hour, in the dead heat of the day, we'll run him against the ZR1X.
David Dudley and Orlando Gallegos come up next. Dudley left side, Gallegos on the right-hand side. Your better qualified car on the right. And he will improve on his pass as well. He goes 846, 171. That picks him up about 0.15 of a second from what he ran earlier. Left side goes 866 with a 5 at 135. And that should put David Dudley into the third field. Taking a quick look here. Orlando now in the number 32 spot, so he is clinging to the 16th spot, the base of the second field. And David Dudley is indeed in the third field in the number 36 spot. That puts him in the number 4 qualified spot in the third field. We are taking 3 fields of 16 cars each. Patrick Scusi and Leo Perez next. Scusi left side qualified at 8:01. He's in the number 17 spot at the top of the second field. Leo Perez, the Texas-based GTR, the purple car on the Jag side. Currently qualified at 7:53. He is in the number 6 spot, solidly in the top field. He has improved on almost every run he has made so far. Can he do it again right here? Dead center of the racetrack, but it looks like he is already off the throttle. He goes 864 at only 118, so he will not improve. And Patrick Scusi also will not improve as he goes to a 13-second time slip. All right, our next pair, Tom Crean, Hector Garcia. Garcia out of Big Spring, Texas on the right-hand side. The GTR, currently qualified at 8:12, has him in the second field in the number 22 spot. Tom Crean left side, 761, has him in the number 9 spot. Right side has problems. Crean will run it to 8th mile and click it early. He'll go 10:23 at 97 miles an hour, so he'll stay in the number 9 spot in the top field. And Hector Garcia has problems. And he will not improve on this run as he is by the wall, rolling slowly. Final call, 2JZ versus the world. Final call, 2JZ versus the world. Lanes 3 and 4. Streetcar, 749 and quicker. I need you to lanes 7 and 8, please. Streetcar, 749 and quicker. I need you to lanes 7 and 8. Streetcar, 750 and slower. I need you to lanes 5 and 6. Streetcar, 750 and slower. I need you to lanes 5 and 6, please. Our next pair, just waiting patiently, is the top end of the racetrack. We have had one of the crew come out to meet Hector Garcia. And he will take the short chute. We are now clear, ready to go burnouts. So our next pair, Bobby Hoffman, Christian Ortega. Ortega right-hand side in the 2014 GTR. That's the multicolored car on the right side. Currently qualified at 860. 834 for Bobby Hoffman, the Pennsylvania-based Audi R8 on the left side, as he'll look to improve on that. And both cars having problems in the first part of the track, so they're going to coast out the back half. 10:08 at just 95 miles an hour for Ortega will not improve his 860. 9:53 at 1:08 for Bobby Hoffman will not improve on his 8:34 pass, so they'll stay qualified where they were in the second field. So Manny Costales and Jason Smith coming up next. Costales left side, the Florida-based Lamborghini Huracan. He's currently qualified at 828, 181. He's in the second field. The money pit, that's Jason Smith's GTR right side. He's currently qualified at 764. He's in the top field. Next pair going down, Costales will go 821 at 179, improving by 700s. All right, attention. Drivers, if you are in the staging lanes for exhibition and you are not by your vehicles, I need you there now, please. Drivers, if you are in the exhibition class or streetcar and you are not by your vehicles, I need you there now, please. Previous pass, Jason Smith on the right-hand side went 783. That moves him up into the number 14 spot. Now 1 car away from having an all 7-second field. Our next pair, Joe Martinez left side, Hector Tejada on the right side. Tejada went 806 previously. He's trying to bump his way back into the top field. Can he do it here? No, he will slow down by a couple tenths of a second. 825 at 187. That will not improve on his 806. It'll keep him in the second field. Joe Martinez had previously run 759 and 200. He had problems on that run and coast to a 13-second time slip, so he will not improve. Final call for streetcar, final call streetcar. I need you lanes 7 and 8, please, for 749 and quicker. Final call streetcar 750 and slower. We'll take you to lanes 5 and 6, please. Leo Ferrari and Nicky Norristada. Norristada's left side, Ferrari right side. Better pass on the right side, and Ferrari will improve. He goes 773 at 185 and picking up a tenth of a second over his 786 that he ran previously. It'll move him up to the number 13 spot as he leapfrogs Sonadata Boy, and she goes down to the number 14 spot. Left side did not improve. Sorry, I had lost my screen. Give me 1 second here. Left side went 834 at only 146, but Nicky had already previously qualified at 802, so that will get him into the second field. Mickey's currently in the number 21 spot overall. That is the number 5 spot in the second field. Stephen Harvey and Mike Dorsick. Actually, I believe it's Dorchick. Dorchick with left side, 857 is his previous best in the Mississippi-based GTR. Stephen Harvey on the right side in the Hefner-tuned R8. Has problems, and left side does as well. Both drivers do not come off the starting line well, so neither one will improve. They will stay where they currently are. Mike will stay in the second field. Stephen Harvey with the 773 will stay in the number 12 spot in the top field. Our next pair, Nicole Vila and Colbert Shaw. Shaw on the right-hand side with a 971 out of the car he calls Zippy, the TTRS Audi. And he is currently just outside the bump spot. The bump spot is right now Ali Kazmi at 969, so Shaw needs to find just a couple hundredths in performance to be able to bump his way into the field. Nicole Vila on the left side at 886 is solidly in the third field in the Lamborghini Huracan called Murder out of Las Vegas. Nicole looking to improve on that 886, and she will go 8 flat at 190 miles an hour to go all the way up into the number 17 spot. Right side, Colbert Shaw also finds some performance. 926 at 155, it'll move him up into the third field. That'll bring up our next pair. And by the way, folks, right now, we have an all 7-second top qualified field of 3. The bump spot for the top field is a 789. One of these cars is in that top field. Farouk Aziz on the right side, the Gap R8 out of New Hampshire. 765 at 199 for the blue car. Nadia Carr out of Orange Richland Hills, Texas left side. 835 on the GTR has her in the second field. Aziz comes off the starting line first. Can he improve on 765? He will. He goes 758 at 201 miles an hour, going above the 200 mile an hour mark. And that will move him up a little bit in the qualifying order. Nadia has problems out of the gate with only a 213 60 foot, and that 1012 at 129 will not improve her standing, so she will stay where she is with the 835 previous pass. Folks, that will wrap up the X58 category here for their fourth qualifier. That should move us into exhibition next. All right, folks, so we are going to do some track prep here right now to get everything ready for the next class, which will be exhibition, followed by 2JZ versus the world. Now, 2JZ had been regulated or moved to the final spot in the rotation to run them under the coolest conditions over the last 3 days. We have now put them back for at least this session, possibly as the second one as well, right ahead of Streetcar. So you will see 2JZ versus the world ahead of Streetcar in the rotation here, possibly in our next one as well. And they will go back to the final class for the third and final session if we get to all three. Folks, while you're funneling out of the grandstands, make sure you go and check out the dozens, and I do mean dozens, of manufacturers, shops, and sponsors that are here at TX2K26. The first one you'll hit, the Texas 2K merchandise booth. Make sure you go and check it out. Grab yourself something to remember your visit to Texas Motorplex by. Right next to them, one row back, is our friends at Summit Racing Equipment. Go and see Tommy and his crew at Summit Racing Equipment. They brought a semi-truck filled to the gills with parts. So if by some chance you need a spare or you have broken something, go over and see Summit. They should be your first call. If by some chance they don't have what you're looking for, one of their 4 major warehouses is less than an hour away from here in Texas, and they can get you taken care of. Right next to them is our friends at 1320 Video. We really appreciate Kyle and his great crew coming out here from 1320. This is one of, I think Kyle told me, 3 events that they come to each year that has their merchandise booth on site, and they have a ton of stuff. It is one of the rare times you would actually get to see all the stuff in person. So make sure you go over and check them out. They also do a limited edition TX2K specific shirt and hoodie for this event. So make sure you go over and grab them before they sell out of your size. They've got lots of other great stuff available over there. Thanks to our friends at 1320 Video. They have done so much for not only the car community at large, but also TX2K. We appreciate them being here. All right, racers, listen up, please. While we are touching up the racetrack, racers, listen up, please. One of the things that has already started to become a problem, and we need your help, please. It is very common for you to get to the lanes and want to see what's going down the racetrack and watch the action, but racers, when you come to the staging lanes, please, I implore you, stay with your vehicles. For us to be able to run an efficient program and possibly get all 3 sessions in today, we need your help, and that would include staying with your vehicles. If you do not, then we are forced to wait for drivers to come back, get suited up, get belted in, and all that time starts adding up. So please, when you come to the lanes, stay at or very close to your vehicle, so when we ask you to suit up and load up, you'll be ready to go instead of being out watching the racing action, and we are trying to get your class forward in the staging lanes. We appreciate your help with that, and thank you for your consideration. All right, folks, so we are continuing to touch up the racetrack. Again, getting ready to go into our exhibition class. That'll be followed by 2JZ versus the world. Our streetcar class has also been called to the lanes. And we will end off Q number 4, our first qualifier of the day today, with our stick shift class. So stick shift, you are on standby. I don't need you yet, but stick shift class, we will call you next. You are on standby. All right, folks, here we go into exhibition. Track prep is complete. Now, this is just exactly as I call it. This is the exhibition class, so this is not for qualifying, not for eliminations. This is for cars that do not fit into a class that would still like to enjoy the track prep that SIG Prep brings to TX2K, as well as the all-concrete surface here at Texas Motorplex. So the exhibition class coming up here. The very unique six-pack notch Fox Mustang on the left-hand side. I have not gotten a definitive answer yet, but the initial report that I heard is because of the six-pack plate on it, that this car could have a GTR six-cylinder driveline in it. I mean, you can definitely tell it sounds very unique. It is not a V8, and if it is, it's got the weirdest exhaust on it possible to make it sound like this. Now, on the right-hand side, Carlos DeValle out of Miami, Florida. That is a Jeep Trackhawk, and it is a quick one. It has run in the 7s before this lap. We'll see what he lays down right here. So Florida representing on the right-hand side, Ontario, Canada. On the left-hand side for the dual parachute-equipped Mustang. The Mustang has not made a good shot yet, but they hope to fix that right here. Does not get into the beams in time, but the Jeep comes off the line good, 128 to the 60-foot. 499 to the 8th mile. Top-end scoreboard says 793 at only 153 miles an hour. Was rolling along and had a chance to lay down something very solid. 499 at 146.97 at the 8th mile. And obviously getting out of it early, but still running a 7-second time slip. So Michael Herrera and Jordan Martin come up next. Martin, the quickest car in the exhibition class, the 2017 R8 left-hand side, has gone 713 and 717, both over 206 miles an hour. His best speed, 210.65. He will line up with the Mean Z, the 77 280Z Datsun. You want to talk about a short wheelbase, yet this car has still gone 930 and 147. 703 for Jordan Martin, 199. That improves him by a tenth of a second. 897, 152 for Michael Herrera. Picks him up by over 3/10 of a second for the Mean Z. So both of them improve on that run. Our next pair, a pair of Mustangs, Logan Kendall and Bill Fletcher. Fletcher has problems in the white car on the right, Logan Kendall on the left after the wheel stand goes 906, 154 miles an hour, and Fletcher has problems with the Cobra Jet on the right-hand side, and he will coast down. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Spectators, racers, crew, listen up, please. There are a lot of people already out here. And this has been something that we have already mentioned a couple of times today, so we need your help here, please. We have already seen plenty of people that are zipping around the facility on motorized vehicles in some way, shape, or form, And it is getting to the point where the police that are walking around are starting to have some concerns. We had mentioned this already during the week. Obviously, we want everybody to stay safe, and we realize that a lot of you are trying to get from the racetrack area back to the pit area or so forth, but please be mindful of all the people around you, number one. Number two, nobody should be on anything with wheels that is motorized unless you have a driver's license. If you do, those vehicles risk being confiscated because we do not want to have any accidents, especially with somebody that is not licensed to be on them. So again, please help us out with that. Please be safe when you are moving around the pit area. All right, folks, this is Nathan Frick. Frick on the left-hand side, the 1994 MR2 that he calls Barney, based out of Colorado. The stick shift car has run in the sevens so far. 774 at 187 for the little pocket rocket MR2. This is his best 60-foot so far, 124. 491 at 148 to the 8th mile, and he will take his foot out of it and go 793 at only 148. That run had all the makings of knocking a couple of tenths easily off what he ran previously, but he takes his foot out of the throttle to just go under 8 seconds. A 124 60-foot and a 499 to half track. All right, folks, we're going to touch up the racetrack here just a little bit. Our quickest and fastest class is coming. 2JZ versus the world. 2JZ versus the world is next, folks. Take a look at our exhibition class. And again, these are, as I mentioned, time runs. We are not going to run eliminations for this class, but there are some very impressive cars in here. Jordan Martin lowering his previous best by 1/10 of a second. He is still the quickest car on the property. Nathan Frick, who we just saw go down in the purple MR2. Carlos Duval going 793 in the Jeep Trackhawk. Bill Fletcher's Cobra Jet has gone 826. Brooks in the Corvette ZR1X. That is his run that he ran during our first session. 874.2 at 159.37 miles an hour. Not far off the record that GM set with an 867.5 in October, Michigan weather. Logan Kendall in the other Cobra Jet out of Bill Fletcher Racing, 885. Michael Herrera at 897. Frank Calianos at 1010. And Alan Hightower round out the top 9 cars that have made a lap so far in exhibition. We may see a few more as we work our way through the day today. Now we will switch gears and go to 2JZ versus the world. And folks, yesterday this class absolutely brought all the heat. Leading up to qualifier number 3 yesterday, the number 1 spot played musical chairs between Brent LaSala and Eric LaFerriere. In 2JZ versus the world, the class is literally set up to see, okay, well, can the 2JZ beat anything else that the world has to throw at it? Well, LaSala answered the call and laid down the quickest number of qualifier number 1 to go 617 at 235 miles an hour in the first session, and he claimed the number 1 spot. On Thursday night, Eric LaFerriere answered to go 614 at 233 in White Rice, the Nissan 240. That moved him into the number 1 spot and bumped LaSala down to second. Session number 3 yesterday brought all the intensity as LaSala rolled up in the first pair in the left-hand side of the racetrack. And the twin-turbo Coyote, known as Snot Rocket 3.0, delivered a 6:05 with a 3 at 236 miles an hour, his quickest and fastest run ever on a 275 tire. Keep in mind, that is a 28 by 9.5 inch wide tire. 1 pair behind him in the same lane, LaFerriere saw his number 1 spot get ripped away. They dialed up the boost to level 4. They saw 101 pounds on the meter during the run, and laid down a 6:05 with a 2, a thousandth quicker at 238 miles an hour to take the #1 spot right back. Absolutely insane, as you see on the screen right now on FloRacing. So those two have traded shots back and forth over the first 3 days of qualifying. John Lund, the quickest overdrive Mustang in the world, is in the #3 spot at 6:38. That's the Grey Goose. Jim DeZeo is in #4 with a 6:81. And Aldo Morales rounds out the top 5 and also the 5th and final 6-second car at 6:94. All those cars are over 200 miles an hour. As our first car rolls to the water, here in our 4th session of 2JZ versus the world. All right, folks, our first pair out here. Jim DeZeo, I just talked about a little while ago, in the Corvette left-hand side. He's currently qualified in the #4 spot with a 6:81, 202 miles an hour. Now, he is facing a guy who has had a little bit of a struggle here thus far. That is Brian Cummins, the Gulf Coast drive shaft backed Shelby Mustang. Now, last year when we saw this car, he was rocking a 5.4-liter based combination with a single turbo. This year, he has made the move to Coyote and twin HPT turbos on board. He has the very capable tuner Eric Gold helping him out. Now, they have worked their way through a few bugs so far. They're trying to get better than 744. This car is running the 6s repeatedly. The brand new combination just not quite there yet. Can he deliver it on this fast? It looks like he is slowing a little bit in the mid-track. And 685, 206 for Jim on the left side. Does not improve on a 681, but it is a good backup run for the Corvette. 729 at 175 on the right side. Brian improves by 0.15 of a second, but still not probably what they want unless they are taking a slow and steady approach to just tune the wick up a little bit each time. Now, folks, your #2 qualifier, Brett LaSala, coming up next on the right side in Snot Rocket. Avninder Kangura will come up on the left-hand side. Folks, how would you like to be in a class where a 765 at 199 mile an hour blast gets you the final spot in qualifying? I mean, a 765 at 199, that is very impressive for Kangura's California-based White Tiger Supra left side. But he looks to his right, and a car is sitting there that has been over a full 1.5 seconds quicker. Brett LaSala, based out of Bradenton, Florida, the Motion Raceworks and TBM Brakes backed car, as his buddy Jim Braun steps away. Can LaSala dial up something quicker than 605 with a 2? Out of the gate, it looks like they have a mid-track tune-up, and he is out of the throttle already. Kangura. 678 for Kangura at 220. And now, folks, we have 6 cars out of 7 in the 6-second zone, and Kangura punches himself all the way up to the #4 spot with White Tiger. Something tells me that Brett LaSala had that tune-up in the car on purpose, a 118 60-foot, to be able to know, okay, let's put in a hot track tune-up and see what the car will run. So he will stay in the #2 spot for this session at least, and Kangura makes the biggest move, picking up over 0.8 of a second to move up into the #4 spot. Now, we will get the guy who is currently number 2 in the GTR Unlimited class, also jumping into 2JZ versus the world, Mac Brosnan. Now, Brosnan has already run a 674 with the GTR that he calls Kimbo on the right side of the racetrack. He has not made a run in this category yet, focusing his efforts on Unlimited. He is solidly qualified there. Decides, hey, let's double dip. Let's see how we do in 2JZ versus the world. On his first shot here, what can Brosnan deliver to go onto the sheet? It knocks the tires loose. He had it wicked up good. 113 to the 60 foot despite the tire chatter, and he will coast down to an 11:41. That'll occupy the number 8 spot, but we will see Brosnan come back around and try it again in the next session. Again, the car has gone 674 in Unlimited, so we know that it has a lot of potential left on tap. That'll wrap up the 2JZ versus the world category, and it'll move us into street car. We'll start with our 749 and quicker cars. So right now, we are taking 4 fields, 16 cars each, which means you need to qualify in the top 64 to be able to play in the street car class. The first 2 cars coming up, both of them in the top field of 16. Sung Ho, left-hand side. GD Chami on the right-hand side. The Florida-based Mustang. For Chamdi on the right side, qualified at 709, 204 miles an hour. Currently has him in the number 6 spot on the opposite side. Ho has qualified the turbocharged Charger out of Texas at 753, 195. And that has him in the number 14 spot currently. Both of them get rolled in, tree fire. Left side immediately strikes the tire. GD at 117 to the 60 foot, the Mustang to the finish line, 695 at 209 as he breaks into the 6-second zone. And that will now get us to 5 cars in the 6s as GD jumps from number 6 up to number 5, pushing Buck Lemoyne's Supra down to the number 6 spot. And we have a member of the racetrack crew that is out at the finish line, so we're taking a quick look at things. Might have seen, yep. I'll tell you what, DeMarcus is all over it. He has been right on top of things each and every pass, as once again we had something come off a vehicle. Can't see exactly what it is, as he has, I'm assuming, either part of the body or part of the possible underclad that is in his left hand, but something came off, I'm assuming, the Mustang on the right-hand side. All right, let's take one more look at it. Keep an eye on the Mustang here. We're waiting to see where the body part came off, and it looked like it just came off. Yep, there it is, right there. Came off the right-hand side of the car right as he pulled the chutes. Oof. To add insult to injury, Ho's Charger went right over it and split it in 2.